Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids147. Happy 16th of June, everybody. So today's section is actually section 25. So we're going down into this bottom corner. So I think what I'm actually going to have to do is work on it on its side, but roll this up because otherwise I am just not going to be able to get the right angle. So we're going for this today. Let's see if doing it on its side makes me feel like it's taking ages again. We shall see how we go. I have my trashy tray and my diamonds, which I need. And then I'm using one of our rose gold metal pens. I've actually got some putty in this, new to me putty. So I've not used this brand before. There's actually an unboxing for it on my second channel tomorrow. So I'm going to give it a go for this section. It didn't feel sticky when I touched on it, but it's picking those diamonds up. So it's definitely doing something right. I am going to move my canvas so you can actually see what I'm doing. But let's get my camera angle first and then get this all rolled up. Oh, we get quite zoomed in this way. See if I can get myself some nice straight edges on here. But I hope everybody is doing good. It is still so warm here. I am not liking the 28 degrees. 23, 24 with a nice breeze. That'll be all good. The air conditioner has been going, so I've been trying to make sure that I do jobs that enable me to sit near the air conditioner more than anything else. So yeah, I'll be glad. I think it's supposed to calm down just a little bit next week, so hopefully it will. But anyway, Darcy, she says they haven't had a Woolworths there within about for at least 40 years. She said she personally doesn't remember the store, but her mum bought school clothes for 5 kids there every year. See, ours did disappear before my kids hit school age. So I didn't tend to buy school clothes from there. I did have certain places that I wanted to go that I got school clothes from. But I did end up getting quite a few of their Christmas toys and things from there before they shut down, and then we had to go to Argos instead. Oh, okay, so we've got a username now. That's what's confusing me. So I think it's Duaka Lee is the name of the person, but then it has got an abbreviation beforehand. So I might have got it a little wrong. But she said, hello, Rebecca. She says she's really been enjoying the June Waffle. Even if the filming and posting schedule must be hectic for you. It's definitely different. I can't keep it up every year. Not every year, sorry, every month. But it is quite nice to do it a couple of times a year. It varies things up a little bit. She said in regards to the decision wheel, she thinks it's a fun idea to do paintings this way. Said especially with the full image. A good change up from painting in one's normal pattern of doing things. She can see sectioning off a mystery kit for using cover sheets for the added mystery and the randomness of the decision wheel. Yes, I have done a mystery by sectioning it up. It was actually one that was gifted to me by Margaret. So I sectioned it up, numbered them up, and the decision wheel chose which section I did. And it actually kept it really random during the whole process. So it was quite nice that everything was random. And yeah, it was definitely a fun way to do it. I think the only reason I'm not doing something similar with my Diamond Art Club one is purely the size of it. I do much prefer sectioning one that is smaller. Smaller in size, I find sectioning works better for me, just because of the way I diamond paint. If I had a big drafter's table, or worked off the dining table, then I could probably get away with sectioning a big one. But I find it easier to section it the other way. Right, I was just trying to see if this diamond is one that I need to place or not, and it is. Because that row there, can you see it? I do actually need to lift the cover up a little bit to do it. Right, I was going to do it now so that I've done it and I know it's done, but I've just realised I want to put my tray closer, and my tray will be sticking on the sticky bit. So I will wait until I have these diamonds down, and at least then my tray will be on top of diamonds rather than sticky bits. So we'll keep working our way up. But yeah, if you've got a mystery, if you've got the space to spread out a mystery, or if you have a small one, then sectioning it up is really fun, because it takes a little bit longer for the image to emerge, or at least I think it does. I suppose it depends which sections the decision wheel chooses. If it chooses them all in the middle, then you might end up finding out what it is a bit quicker. Liz says, hi Rebecca. She says she is working on the penultimate section of her June waffle canvas. She said she spent the day in the garden and the weather is going to be good tomorrow. She said so she will be able to finish off all of her garden jobs, and then next week she will be able to sit out in the garden and read a book for a couple of hours and admire all her hard work. She says we have a summer planned with several barbecues, so it will be nice to show all the hard work off and feel proud to entertain in a nice space. She says she's just waiting for the garden contractor to lay the bit of grass and soak paving, and she'll be so happy. She managed to get what she wanted on last night's shop launch, which included the tray bundle, she said, so she's so happy. Enjoy the nice weather. Thank you. We have been enjoying the nice weather in the evening. When the shade comes over to the patio near the conservatory, we actually moved our rattan furniture set further down. So basically we have a little patio outside our conservatory at the back of the house, but then we do have a big patio all the way across the back of our garden at the top, which is actually where it gets the sun till late, because our garden, it's north facing, so it gets all the sun there pretty much until the sun goes down. Like the shade from the house doesn't even reach that back patio. So we have a rattan furniture set that we got for up there. But we've actually brought it down because we prefer personally to sit in the shade. It comes in multiple sections, so we've brought a few of the sections down to enjoy it on this bottom patio, and then whenever we have a party or a gathering or anything like that, we can move it back up and use it up the top. So it's been quite nice having that to relax on. Nancy, she says, thanks for another great waffle. She said she is out and about doing adulty things, and she hopes that I have a great day. Is it adulty things, all those boring tasks, or the things that you wanted to do as a kid, but now you get to do anytime you want? But whichever it is, I hope you get your list done. Donna, she says, hello Rebecca. She said she has been enjoying watching any video that I've been posting. She says she's been laid up and not able to diamond paint for 8 months. She says, so thank you for posting. She says she knows it's not the same as doing it herself. So she's enjoying watching me. Oh, well, I'm so happy I can keep you company. Hopefully you will be able to diamond paint again soon in some form or another. And you'll have picked up loads of tips and tricks and loads of random pieces of information by the time you get to diamond paint again. See, you might not have known the origin of Woolies or Woolworths. And it in various different countries when you were diamond painting before, but you will do now. Don't know how much of a difference it will make, but think of all these amazing things that you've learnt. That and green gravy as well. All sorts of conversations going on. Kaz, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's loving the weather that we're having. She says she's been playing catch up on videos as she has missed 2 days. She said she is now caught up, and she bagged herself a plum tray, the limited edition pen, and a couple of metal tips and a green metal pen. She said she thinks that's it. She also bagged herself 4 of Abby's diamond painting putties from Diamond Art Studios. She said she got 2 in apple cinnamon and 2 in peppermint cream. Very nice. Sounds like they'll smell nice. Because that's what I like, is the scented ones. I like being able to give them a little sniff. I'm just pushing the putty from round the edge on this one back in, because of course I hadn't used it yet. So it takes a little bit just to make sure I've not got too much in my pen for how hard I'm pushing down. But it seems to be working great so far. I'm not having any problems, so that'll be good. The unboxing video for tomorrow, of course, is the unboxing. So at the time I filmed it, I didn't actually know how good it would or wouldn't be. But I thought the pen is here with putty in. Let's give it a go on the waffle. So Silja, I'm not sure if that is your first name or not. YouTubers starting putting usernames a little bit weird. There's no spaces and stuff in things. So it takes me a little bit to figure some of them out. But she says, hi Rebecca. She says she decided to work on one of her cross-stitch projects during the waffle. She said it's a gift for her eldest sister, and she is hoping to have it done by Christmas. She says she's at 35%. She said, wish me luck. Well, all the best with it. Do a section a day for June waffle. I would be tempted after that to still do some, but don't feel like you have to do a section a day for the month of July. But then maybe pick up to do a section a day in the month of August. So still do some in July, but then go back to more of a section a day in August, and that'll hopefully stop you getting burnt out, but still enable you to get it done in plenty of time before Christmas, so that you don't go into a panic mode or Christmas Eve cross-stitching to get it finished. She said she used to cross-stitch every day for at least 3 hours. She says, but she hasn't touched a needle and thread since she found diamond painting. She said, so one of the talking points today, she said, really hit home about taking breaks from hobbies and coming back to them. She said, looking forward to tomorrow's waffle. And yeah, when you find a new hobby of whatever form that is, it's always more exciting. It's what you want to do and immerse yourself in and, you know, give everything a go. But it doesn't mean that your old hobbies are done and dusted and neglected. It just means that, you know, it's like you're playing a little bit of catch up. You know, you've cross-stitched for years. You know everything about it. And diamond painting just hasn't had the same amount of your time as cross-stitch has. So diamond painting wants to catch up a little bit. And soon you will either find that, you know, it could be years, a couple of years down the line, you may find that actually I still want to do cross stitch. And you may find that you start doing it a bit more than diamond painting. You may find that you do it about the same. You may find that actually that there isn't anything that you want to do and you want to continue diamond painting. And none of those things are wrong. I actually envy people that manage to find a bit of time to do lots of different crafts all the time, you know, and get to sort of do a bit of one night and a bit of one another night and not miss the one they're not doing. Because I find if I do anything else, I often miss the diamond painting. Though I did enjoy doing the Christmas cross stitch pattern that I did because I fell in love with the image, and it was nice to just do that for a little bit, albeit spread out over a couple of years. But I don't know how quick I'll be doing another one, but I haven't got rid of all my cross stitch threads and things. They're all still stored and ready, and if the bug does take me, then I'll pick it up. It's the same with scrapbooking. I've not got rid of everything. I have actually got rid of a lot, but I have still kept enough that if I've got an interest in doing it, it will be fresh and I will be able to do it. Plus, my sister-in-law has a craft room absolutely full to bursting of the stuff. So I can always just invite myself there. If the urge takes me, take along some photos and a paper trimmer so she doesn't have to share, and probably just have at it with her stash. So I've always got, you know, that backup. Should I fancy doing some, I've always got that option. It's not given up, but at the moment diamond painting is still my love. And yeah, I'm loving doing it. I'm actually hoping to get some done on some of my big ones that I've got on the go, my big 2 that I have on the go. I'm hoping to get some done after doing this waffle. We shall see. Kaz, she's come back. She said, it's me again. She says she loves the sound of rain. She says she does. She loves the sound of rain. I do. It's just not been raining at night. The couple of times we have had a bit of rain, and I say a bit because it sort of appeared and then it's disappeared again. It has been in the evening, but it hasn't been at night. Nowhere near bedtime. So maybe one day this summer we'll have some nice heavy rain as I'm falling to sleep. That'll be nice. Lady Dax, she says, ooh, she says she keeps looking at the Diamond Art Studio paintings that are over 190 colours. She says she definitely wants the Sweet Shop, and she will probably get the other one too. She says she has the same case as I do. She says, will you kit them up in DMC order or in symbols like you usually do? Well, initially I will put the pots in the case in DMC order for kitting it up. Initially, just because there's that many colours and things, it'll be a lot easier to find the DMC number. However, the suggestion from Diamond Art Club, and the one that does seem to be working for people who have been working on them, is to actually group the diamonds by colour, so that then you're looking at less symbols, because you're just looking for the colour first and then finding that symbol. So I think I'll group by colour, and then I will probably put the symbols as I normally would. So normally I'd put any letters, any numbers. Then I put things like keyboard symbols, familiar symbols, arrows together. So I might do it like that and actually group it by colour, but then within each colour group the symbols as I normally would, and see how I go. But I'm expecting that to very much be like the mystery painting. But it might be something that, say, when I'm going to diamond paint in an evening, I actually sit at the dining room table, because of the amount of diamonds. Sit at the dining room table, do one section of it, and then move to sitting on the couch and doing one of my other paintings, or whichever I happen to have on the go when their restocks come in, and do it that way. So rather than the decision wheel pick for me, I don't want to be doing one that is 190 plus colours, you know, at 9 o'clock at night after doing other diamond painting. I'd rather do it first, because I think it needs more concentration. It's a bit like a heaven and earth design. It needs some concentration. So that needs to be done early evening, and then move on to a diamond painting that doesn't need as much concentration for the rest of the night, as I get tireder and tireder as the evening goes on. Though having said that, at the moment I haven't been able to sleep because of the heat. I think it's been about 3 a.m. the past few days that I've managed to fall asleep, so I don't think I could do pretty much any diamond painting that needs concentration at the moment. I feel like I need to kit up another Splatterworks just so that I can sit there and just put white and not think about it. I'd be tempted to just do a few sections of white and not even think of putting the colour on until the weather cools down, or until I get a full night's sleep. Yeah, my brain's just feeling like it doesn't need anything different going on in it at the moment. Just needs the basics. So yeah, that's my plan for it. But of course it will take a little bit to sort of get my head around the symbols and what symbols are similar. I might also do the markup with a highlighter pen for symbols that are similar, even if they're different colours, just so that I am a little bit aware of them as I go from section to section. Hermione? No, that can't be the way it's said. I'm sure. Hermione? Is that the way it's said? I do apologise. She says, hi Rebecca. She says, long comment / waffle coming. Save my video feed. Ready for the long one. She says she's been lurking on my channel since last July. She says right before you started doing your Heaven and Earth Design August challenge, she said, and she watched me reach 50% on my large Heaven and Earth Design painting. She says she loves watching / listening to me while she diamond paints herself. She says even though you wanted to complete your big Heaven and Earth Design project in July, she said she thinks it's quite fitting that it will be finished in August. She says because that is 1 year from when you really decided to get going on it. That's a good point. That will help the fact that I haven't touched it yet this week. It's been too hot. This conservatory gets rather hot in the morning. The craft room does stay cool for a fair amount of time. Like the time I'm packing orders, I wouldn't say it gets too hot, but there has been occasions when I've sort of gone and stood a little bit closer to the air conditioner for 5-10 minutes. So I've actually not stood in here for an hour doing my Heaven and Earth design this week. I do need to get better because the whip and waffles are going to be back soon and I'm not going to have made any progress at all. She says she's been diamond painting since March of 2022 and she says she loves it so much. She said she also agrees that completing diamond paintings with a goal to achieve, she said, feels really good. She said so long as that goal is achievable and realistic. That's true, because otherwise you just feel defeated. I think I do need to remind myself that my Heaven and Earth design should be finished by the end of the year. Rather than saying I want to get it finished by August. Because that's what I keep telling myself in my head. So every time it's too warm to do it, I'm telling myself off. And I really shouldn't, because my goal was to do it by the end of 2023. I just have so many things I want to do. She says she has 9 very large Diamond Art Club and Diamond Art Studio UK paintings. She says that are about 90 centimetres long. She plans to complete 1 a month, doing at least one 6-inch by 4-inch section a day. So that's 2 sheets of our cover paper. That's how I convert that. 6 by 4 inches is 2 sheets of cover. And that's okay. That's fairly reasonable. At first I was thinking, is that reasonable? But I can sometimes, depending on the painting, I can often do 3, maybe even 4 sections some evenings. It depends how quick, after sort of people get in from work and tea and all the rest of it, and how quick I actually get to sit down. June waffle time, it's probably nearer 2. So 2 seems quite reasonable. She says sometimes she gets more than 1 section done in the day. She said, and sometimes she doesn't get any done. But that's where she's kind of taken, she says she's taken my advice and she's realised that she doesn't have to meet that goal every day, that she can work at her own pace, and it doesn't mean that she's failed, which is true. And it's very easy to give the advice. It's sometimes a bit harder to take it. But I'll try and tell myself that in the morning if I don't get my Heaven and Earth design done. She says she's naturally a very anxious person. She said, so having diamond painting and your videos to watch, she said, has really given her a place and activity to turn off that constant worry and distress. Perfect. That's exactly what a hobby should do. A hobby should be for enjoyment, for relaxation. I mean, some hobbies aren't relaxing, but they are in a different way. So they might not be physical relaxing. So for example, people that run for a hobby don't understand it, but people that run for a hobby, they do it because they enjoy it. It might not be physically relaxing, but it's probably relaxing in their mind. Going for that run. My sister-in-law likes to run. I don't quite get it. She says you're amazing, and she says she loves everything that I do. She says this channel really keeps her going, and the community, she says, that is built up around you is amazing. Yeah, the community is definitely amazing. It's what meant that I am so far behind on comments. All you guys and your comments have been absolutely amazing. I'm gonna have to do some fun and maybe a bit longer whip and waffles in July. because there's so many comments. But I absolutely love it. I love all the different discussions that come up, and you never know what they're going to be, and they're never the same. There might be the odd question that's the same from somebody who's, you know, not been watching the channel for a few years, but you know, that's fine too. Like, they're few and far between, but it's perfectly fine. And all the topics just, yeah, they surprise me each and every time, and I love it. She also says, P.S. She said, it's crazy to think, she said, that when she first started watching my videos, you were still working at your job, she said, and not doing the shop full time. She says, not even a year later, and the business has grown so much. She said, you and Megan and the rest of your family, she says, work so hard for all of us diamond painting fanatics. She said, it's truly amazing. Oh, thank you. We do like to make you guys happy and listen to your requests. You know, it supports the business as much as anything else. You know, the business wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So any requests that we do get, we do our best to implement as many as we can. And, you know, just bring more and more diamond painting accessories out there to people as options as they get into the hobby for things that may make it even more enjoyable for them and fun. And I really enjoy doing it, even if, you know, it does end up with boxes all over the house at some point. I really enjoy it. And then I get to organise it and try and find places to tuck it all, so I get enjoyment out of that as well. Simply Read says, Rebecca, she says, hello. She says she's trying to catch up. She has been on a business trip all week, so she's doubling up, she said, yesterday and today until she catches up. She says, but she does have a question. She says, as she's confused about something I said on the 7th of June. She said, you indicated that there could only be one entry for the giveaways. She said, is that one entry per drawing or one entry for the entire event? That is just one per drawing. So per draw, we found that a few other giveaways that we've done, people would often put their details in 5 or 6 times, and then they'd leave it an hour or so, and then they'd come back and put their details in again, and things like that, so that they were in the draw multiple times. And it's not fair. It's not fair on others. So we're just asking that people don't. And there is a way we can check. So in the past, we have removed all bar one entry for said people that have done it, whereas this time we're like, don't play that game, play nice, otherwise we'll just take your entry out altogether. It's just a bit more of a warning. You know, sometimes things can happen with errors coming up for people, and I have had people let us know about that. That's fine. You know, that's something that happens. The sort of people that have done it in the past and made us have to bring that rule in, it's not been any kind of technical error. It has definitely been blatantly entering multiple times. So yeah, it's just each draw. You don't have to pick and choose which one you might want to enter and which one you don't. There are a few hundred draws per entrance per draw, at least. It does vary a little bit, but there's normally a good few hundred per giveaway that we do. But so far, we've had winners from all over the place, which is really good. She said she wants to be clear just so that no one gets thrown out for not understanding. No, we are not checking against past draws. We don't keep hold of the information from past draws. As soon as the person who won has responded to our email, giving us their address, and their prize has been sent in the post, then the whole spreadsheet with all the giveaway entries is deleted. It's not data that we keep hold of. So yeah, it is all completely deleted once the prize is on its way to the winner. She says, thank you for a great event and for keeping us company while we all enjoy. She said, have a wonderful day. Well, you enjoy yourself catching up. I mean, that comment was left. Oh, it was on the video from the 8th of June, but she's still catching up. I can see by the other comments. So it was about 3-4 days ago she left that comment. So hopefully you're all caught up by now. If not, I am sure you will enjoy the waffling topics that have gone on over the last few days by the time you get to this one. Jerry said, hi Rebecca. She said she used to love the sound of rain and thunder. She said, however, now in the job that she works and the place that she now lives, thunder equals lightning, and lightning equals the possibility of fires due to the lightning. She says when a fire starts, it is very possible that it will mean she will be working 7 days a week, and on call even on her off hours, as they work very closely with California Fire and California Office of Emergency Services. She says she lives in Northern California in a wooded area. She said just before she started this new job, hubby and herself, she's written hubby and I, which makes perfectly sense when you're talking in the first person, but when you're trying to relay a conversation, not so much. So they both got evacuated for a fire that was burning less than 2 miles from her. She said they were actually evacuated for 2 weeks, and she started her new job during that time. She said when we returned home from the evacuation, she said her home was just fine, by the way. She said hubby found ember trails on our front walk close to our house. She says they were lucky, as there was a town that was completely obliterated by the fire. She said she still would never move away from the mountains. She says as it is beautiful all year round. She's hoping that fire season is not as bad this year, as they have had record rain and snowfall. She says she doesn't get to hear the rainfall anymore, as their house is very soundproofed. She says she doesn't even hear the sirens when their elderly neighbour has the fire department come. Oh, well, if you can't enjoy the rain, then you definitely don't. You can't enjoy the rain, and the lightning is in effect dangerous where you live, then there's kind of no point. You just have to get an app on your phone. At least that won't cause you to have to work 24/7, which is definitely not what you want. Especially because you know full well it'll happen during a tired week. Does anybody else get a tired week? A week where everything is just that little bit more effort. Yeah, that's when things like that happen during a tired week. Myra, she says hello. She says although she multi-places, she says up to 4. She said she still nudges every single diamond with her single placer. She said she can't understand how that is cheating. She said you are tackling a lot of white. She says while she keeps herself sane with all the black in her painting with my waffles. She says thank you. I mean, when we say cheating, and I know a couple of people have also said that they feel like multi-placing is cheating, it is not something that we think anybody else is cheating by doing. So when I say that if I multi-place, I feel like I'm cheating, and somebody else goes, I multi-place, I don't think that they're cheating because they're multi-placing. I think they're diamond painting in their way. It's like, you know, somebody who may, so for example here I'm doing a lot of the step method. There might be somebody that decides to do the alternate checkerboard method. Couldn't think of the word. Checkerboard method. There might be somebody that could potentially place a diamond up here, a diamond over here, a diamond over here, and actually do completely random where they place every single diamond. And I wouldn't class that as cheating. So it's not something that by anybody else multi-placing they're cheating. It's my personal thought that I am cheating if I multi-place. And that's something that I am trying to, you know, adapt and change and give it a go. I can't say that it would be, you know, my go-to all the time, but it might do. You never know. Things have changed in the past. But yeah, do be assured, I do not think you're cheating for multi-placing at all. I think you do you. It is your diamond painting. It's how you want to do it. And if I feel like I'm cheating when I multi-place, that is my feeling about myself. And we're always hard on ourselves compared to other people. So yeah, I don't think anybody is cheating for multi-placing at all. Even people that can get multi-places above 10 to work, I don't think you're cheating at all. There's a slight bit of envy, because with some paintings it's like, actually I would kind of like to finish it a bit quicker, but I can't multi-place that well. Carrie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's enjoying the waffle a lot. She said her replacement pen came today. She said right before today's video. She said right before the video went up. She said her dog knocked the other one off her table and broke it the other day. She said, yay, day 11. She says will be the last part of her current whip. She says, but she has already kitted up her next project. Kitting up, so exciting. She says, after finishing today, she says she went on to do a wood burning project, which also included painting because she was just in the zone. She said, so thank you for giving me the motivation to get up. Oh, excuse me. She says to get up and do my crafts. She says because with mental health and daily migraines, she said it is difficult to find that motivation. I understand that completely, and these events are great for that, because you're not telling yourself you've got to do it. Like, you know, you've got to do this and you've got to do it for every day for the rest of your life. You know, which half the time is the thing that stops us from doing stuff. Even if it isn't a task that has to be done every day, but you just like, you group it and you're like, oh, I don't want to adult today. I don't want to do this adult task. I don't want to do that adult task. But sometimes if you just say, well, join us if you can for this month, it's like it takes the pressure off and you get to realise that you do get some enjoyment out of it. And then you may or may not want to continue it. Quite often, if it's something that's hard, I actually recommend giving yourself a month off from it and then doing it again, because otherwise it just loses its spark. But yeah, it can be fun to get a little bit done each day of whatever that task may be. Mysterious Days, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she ended up watching this video twice because her brain wasn't processing the words. Oh, I so know that feeling. You can hear it, but it's just not going in. She says she got the section finished in about 30 minutes again. She said, and then she did have an itch for square. She said, so she got out Comfortably Numb by Diamond Art Club again. She said, interestingly, she said it made her notice something. She says she can multi-place with a 7-placer extremely easily with squares, and she has little mistakes. But she struggles way more with rounds, and she prefers a 4-placer for her rounds. She says maybe it's the spacing and drill size. She says she doesn't know, but it is something that she's just noticed. So there you go. If, like me, maybe you're trying to multi-place, you're giving it a go, and you find that you're doing well, but then all of a sudden you're not, and you get frustrated, just check what type of painting you're doing. Maybe you've changed the painting, and it's actually, you know, you just work differently for each one. I place diamonds differently on a square than I do on a round. I don't often do this step method and stuff on a round. It's definitely a square type of thing. I will occasionally do it on a round, but I don't know, I find like I go in straight lines more with rounds. I would do the step method, but not as religiously as I do with squares. But yeah, everything is a little bit different with each one. Shirley Ann, she says, talking about multi-placing, she said for people who have got weak wrists or hands, she says it is harder for me to do it. She said it's harder for her to multi-place. Now she likes to use blue or white tack instead of wax. She said as wax makes more mess for her. She says she's on her 5th diamond painting since she started in April of this year. Woohoo! Go girl. Love it. That is like 2 months. Less than 2 months, depending on when you started in April. That is really good going. The joys of a new hobby. Janita, she says they're going to have rain for the next few days. She said so their temperatures are a lot cooler than they have been. That's what I'm looking forward to. Just a couple of degrees less. Just shaving off a few degrees off the weather would be ideal. Yeah, just make it a little bit nicer to move about, especially when you have jobs to do that involve lugging boxes. Stop you feeling so bleh about doing it, that's for sure. Try to avoid going outside at the moment because it's like I just want to stay by this nice air conditioning. Thank you very much. Sarah, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, great waffle as always. She said she just wanted to say that she loves the idea of me taking progress pictures of your mystery painting for a slideshow. She says also, she says she can't wait to see me work on one of those super high colour paintings from Diamond Art Studio. She said, have a great day. I am sure it will be very entertaining. Right, I've got my 7 strip here. I do still have some pots with diamonds in. I actually still have this half. But these bags have been staring at me that were never tipped into pots because it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth finding something to tip these into when I'd used all my Star Raw pots up. So I am just going to try and fill up a few of these now with these bags. Try not to overfill it. And just get rid of these last couple of bags that are sat on the top of my tray storage. because they're just not tidy, and I just can't give my nice tray storage a little wipe down with the duster as easy when these bags are in the way. Anybody else do sad things like that? Right, the last of that bag is going straight into my tray. There is a little bit of static, but oh, and there is a couple of diamonds stuck in that one. So those bags have filled up full, so I will use those before I move on to the others. And the rate I've been going, I'll get through them. Beverly says she keeps her house about 67 degrees all year round. She says that's about 19 or 20 degrees for me. That sounds absolutely ideal. In British homes, the only problem is we can control that in winter a bit better. So we have a thermostat for the heating, you know, clicks on and off depending on what the temperature is, but we don't have aircon. We have like a big portable unit, but actually air conditioning built into your house is in no way a standard practice. You will find most homes do not have it. And that therein lies the British problem with summer. Aircon is just not a normal thing. And therefore when it gets hot, we can't cope. We just can't do it. Helen, or Handcrafted by Helen, she says she has been forgetting to do her little icon. So Helen leaves me a little heart emoji on videos when she's watched them. She's one of quite a few subscribers that just leave a little emoji to let me know they've said hello. She says she has forgotten to do her icon and each whip and waffle. She said, oops. She says she has watched and diamond painted each one. Well, life happens sometimes, Helen. I say comments can be easy or hard depending on how you watch the videos. But I do know, you know, that you watch them, and thank you for each time that you do remember, but don't panic when you don't. Just keep enjoying diamond painting. That's the main thing. Miss Jo Violet, she said, hi Rebecca. She says she finally woke up, she said, and joined the Facebook group. She said she had to giggle when I spoke about the weather, as she seriously considers wearing a light jumper when it is 24 degrees Celsius or below. She said here in Brisbane, she said we are used to much higher temperatures, and 30 degrees, she said, is nothing to them. She said her sister lives in the UK and often laughs at her when she complains about it being cold, and it's only 20 degrees Celsius. She said shows what you get used to, as they both grew up in South Africa but now experience temperatures very differently, she said, based on where they live. She said thanks again for another waffle, another great waffle. Well, you're welcome for the waffle. I do believe though, and I don't know if there is any scientific basis behind this, but I feel, I don't know whether it's to do with the ozone layer and all that sort of stuff, or whether it's, I don't know, whether it's how close the sun is when it beats down at that temperature. But I cope with the higher heat in Australia a lot better than in the UK. Now, whether it be because our houses, for example, are made to retain heat, because, you know, we're normally a more cold country than we are a warm one. So whether it's because all of our buildings are primarily done to keep heat in, that actually when you're in and out of buildings and about, that it's stuffier, hot weather in the UK compared to Australia. Of course, I've been to Australia quite a few times. My family live out there. I went to the Australian Open
and it was actually a 40-degree day when we went to the Australian Open. And yes, it was warm, but I feel like the weather we've had at 28, 29 degrees is warmer than that was. So I don't know what it is that's different, and there probably is some scientific thing, but I do feel like, hotter weather in Australia doesn't feel as hot as in the UK. But again, that could be me. It could be the fact that every shop you walk into is beautifully air conditioned, and every house you go into is often air conditioned, and it just doesn't feel as stuffy. It's actually quite nice. Not that I want, temperatures that high when I go to Australia every day, but I definitely don't feel as though it impacted me quite as much as the weather does here. But then again, I also go to Australia as a holiday rather than living my daily life, so who knows. Linda Ferguson, she says, drill placement is always a point of discussion. That it is. It's always one that rolls itself back around. She says she's retired, and as she diamond paints each day, she says she does only single place. She says she can do a 30 by 40 in 3 days, as it is, and a larger painting, she says, in a matter of weeks instead of months. She says she doesn't have unlimited space, so she doesn't want to finish her paintings any quicker than she already does, and she doesn't have the income to be buying paintings to sustain that. She says hence she's not interested in multi-placing. She said it's not a matter of cheating or anything else. She said it's just all about, for her, it's all about taking her time and going with the flow, she says, while listening to other things. And that's perfect. Again, that's another reason that somebody might single place. It's completely different for everybody, and the way they feel about multi-placing. But yeah, when you diamond paint quick. That is good going though. Crystal, she says she's from Ohio in the US. She said she grew up hanging clothes out on the line. She said she misses having her sheets on the line. There is something nice about sheets drying on the line. I agree. She says they don't have enough of a backyard or garden for a clothesline now. She says, but she would in a heartbeat if she could. Yeah, it's nice to get your clothes dry outside and just get them away and get the job done. I suppose with a dryer you can as well, but yeah, we struggle with that a bit more in the UK. Brenda, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she hopes I'm doing well and she thanks me for all the waffles so far. She says, with about 2 rows of cover papers left, she said, on her 40 by 50 square, she has actually run out of DMC 814. She says, thankfully, she has plenty of them in her spares. She said after finishing her section a little bit before me, she says she used the last bit of the waffle to top up her pot for number 814. She says with the heat wave, she says we currently have, she says she's kind of speeding through her ongoing whips quicker than she thought she would. So who knows? She says maybe she'll have to use a future whip and waffle to kit up a new painting. Ooh, that'd be exciting. Then you'll have got to do all sorts while doing it. But I agree. This heat, it is, quite often, depending on how you like the heat and how, you manage with the heat. sometimes just slowing down for a while is the best way to cope with it. And what better way to slow down but to diamond paint for a bit. Jessica, she said electric clothes horses, she says, are a godsend. She said her cousin introduced her to them, she said, when she was in uni. She does recommend. She says they're quite economical too. She said especially when it is too warm for the radiators, but too cold to go outside drying. I might have to look into that. We'll see how many kids are still at home when I need them again, because that's what it tends to be. It's not having one clothes horse up. I'm happy having one up and it being up for a day or two, quite often only a day when the dehumidifier's on. It's when we just have not enough space for the amount of people that are in the house and the amount of washing that gets done, that it actually makes it all just that bit harder. So, well, this putty's lasted quite well for this whole section. There is the odd diamond now where I'm thinking, you know, does it need a little bit more? But having said that, even when I use a glue dot, I often find that after a while of painting, I have to top up my glue dots just a little bit because, you know, maybe I've been quite heavy-handed at times. So like I just placed a diamond down and it didn't go down straight, and I actually pushed harder on my pen to twist it round. But yeah, I think this putty's doing rather well. Kaz says her Vivian Fox canvas is coming together nicely. She says she has the lower half of the fox's face completed. That is a really nice painting. I did enjoy doing that one. That's a Cara Art painting. And I did enjoy doing Vivian Fox. So it's nice to see somebody else getting to enjoy the painting as well, because of course I've done mine now. Move on to other exciting things as well. Anthea, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves working on her paintings whilst I'm on the TV on YouTube. She said it's just so relaxing. Well, I am happy that I could keep you company during your diamond painting. You guys and your comments keep me company while doing this. It's nice and it's different. Like I don't feel like this is my normal session of diamond painting. This is my meeting friends diamond painting. And then I sat on the couch either listening to an audiobook or listening to whatever hubby's got on TV is my other type of diamond painting. And they're both enjoyable in different ways. Cat Lady says she loaded up her progress on Facebook this afternoon. She says she is now working a bit further on her Heaven and Earth design painting. She says she's working ahead on this one as she knows she is away for a few days later on in the month, and she said she wants to finish it. She needs her desk back. I can imagine. That's going to be the fun thing for me with this big colour painting, is just having the desk and potentially trying to get my dining table back when needed. Taylor, she says she has been loving the whip and waffles. She says currently she is sitting here doing a section on her current whip with her 6-month-old sitting next to her chewing on the end of my canvas. She said it's a good thing that Diamond Art Club canvases are high quality. That's amazing. I can just imagine a little one sitting there having a little nibble. She said he just won't leave it alone. She said, and she did have to sacrifice one of her zesty trays for him to have as well, so he wouldn't quit, because he wouldn't quit grabbing for hers. As long as you've taken the stopper out, then you should be good, but I'm sure you have. She says he makes it a little difficult to do a section every day, but she has been trying to at least get her current whip done in June. She says, thank you for the videos to keep this busy mama company. Oh, kids are often the reason we don't get to do everything that we want to do. But I'm so happy he's letting you get a little bit done. But there we go. Section 25 is completed, albeit sidewards. But that is another corner done. Have we done all corners? No, not quite. Number 6 is the last corner that needs doing, but there we are now, definitely fully into the second half of the month. So thank you so much to all of you for joining me so far, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow.